Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. Normally I wouldn't like do a voiceover for this, but I just wanted to, since it's like a feature that I wrote about on my web zone. I figure I should talk about it and elaborate on it. If you don't know, if you haven't read it, you're somehow watching this video, you haven't seen anything. This isn't devlog. I don't do that shit. I don't care about it. I'm solo dev. That sounds so cringe. I'm making this thing. I do everything. It's based off. It's sort of influenced by Border Down. Uh, it started as a weird fever dream where I was gonna make a Dominion Tank Police thing, and then I didn't want to do a vertical game. I wanted to do a horizontal game, and I couldn't figure out how to do the tanks. It would just become a side-scrolling game, so I decided to make it a normal horizontal shmup. Cotton influence on basically everything. It's like Cotton, but in the 22nd century, and Cotton if she lived in Oakland and listened to too much D beat. But what the problem I had initially was there's this issue like so when we all play games, right, we use save states on the game, right? I couldn't imagine. I mean, I used to play Border Down on Dreamcast, so I mean, I do remember the past of using like not having save states and having to practice. It takes so long to practice, right? Now I can practice any game. I'm playing Harmful Park on super hard, and it's really helpful because some of those patterns are really really thick. Especially on like stage 2, like I haven't been playing that much, but I like on stage 2, there's like the trumpet patterns are like the way they overlap. You need to practice that section a couple times before. Well, it's actually not that hard. I just didn't know I didn't have the positioning down immediately. That's not the point. Anyway, with games like that, it's helpful to have save states, and games often had. With arcade games, you get save states. Games in the Xbox era, I think in the PlayStation 1 era, they didn't really offer stage select that often. I mean, there were stage select debug things in like some arcade games that you could reach, but most of the time, I don't think stage select for practice mode didn't really exist until like the Xbox PS3 generation. We're still dealing with like Strania. Strania's from like 2012. Strania has like that classic stage select style, and it's gonna be it'd be like that. So like go to practice. You can set your stage. It's gonna be like if you're like what's the every time you beat the stage it unlocks, right? So you have the stages here, the starting lives. You can set these. You can set your support ship on and off at the beginning of the stage, which can be helpful for things. Difficulty settings and important rank fine tune because there's rank in this game. I baked it into how the game functions, so you can read more on my web zone, but be in the description. I don't know who the fuck's watching this. This is material I've just made just for the sake of making it. So anyway, if you hold enter or start, it goes. You can do by 5. There's smaller gradations like that. I actually didn't have this initially. I didn't have this set up initially. It was just like this, so that was pretty bad. Rank is incredibly important to the game. It's not like Garega style rank or like Batrider style rank. It's like I compare it to like again Border Down style rank. Border Down rank is it adds 1 or 2 more enemies. It changes some bullet patterns, especially on bosses. It changes boss bullet patterns, stuff like that, and it's just like a couple it's slight changes, but the way it works is that you want to cycle between raising and lowering your rank, because you raise it for you get more score for killing things when you have higher rank, but you might want to, but you want to lower rank to you also lower rank by using your support ship, and you get points for using that too. And then if you suicide, you get you get a big orb that that absorbs enemies, and you can use that to clear massive bullet patterns or stuff, or enemies. So you might want to suicide. The reason why I don't think it'll be particularly difficult. I mean, I made it, so I mean, it's hard for me to say how difficult it actually is. I don't think it's that hard. I mean, I played, you know, I'm like, what's the hardest game I'd played? I don't play cave games. Probably the hardest thing I've played is it's probably like it's not Last Resort. Maybe it is. That game's hard because of how you use the orb. Probably an art. It's like an art. Oh, the original Archetype's not that hard. Yeah, I don't know. Playing Ginga Force. I thought Ginga Force Ginga Force is easy. It's kind of crazy. I'm actually surprised. Anyway, that's a tangent. Anyway, my point is, when you, because of how the scoring system works, it would be incredibly helpful to have save states. I can't do that. I can't code that. There's a reason why. Is the way I designed the game. It's synced. The music and the animations of the stage are synced, and I can't go back because of how I could do it with an animation. There's a specific way to do it that I could have done, but I made the first stage differently than I made the next two. I made all the stages already. I just haven't done the enemies. I made all the stages. I made the first stage differently than the last stage. That's basically what it is. I used a different way. I did a different way of spawning things and moving the camera, and I should have done that. But it makes it, because I didn't do it. It gave me different camera angles. Actually, it was kind of an interesting. It wasn't a bad thing, but it makes it so I can't scrub back and forth on the stage. If I had a save state option, I could have just like saved the exact time the way I moved the camera too is kind of weird. I could just set the save state to like the certain point of time the camera animation's on, because that's what determines the spawn. What determines the spawn. I should have passed this up. I can't believe I did a separate way spawning thing. I would go, if I could go back and redo this, I would do so much. But yeah, it's so much work to go back and recode some of that stuff. It's like pain in the ass. I could have gone back, so I can't. So long story short, I did this. So basically, what you do, you have each stage is roughly in sections that like Border Down has like roughly like enemy sections. So you can you can see section A. This is the beginning of stage 1, and then there's here. You go here, you get the next part of stage 1, which is the crisscross jets. And then the third part of stage 1, which is this part to the ending. So you can initially I was going to have you be able to pick up and like play at that section, but where it was viewing. But I thought maybe I could do something like if you press A and start, you can pick up from the point that it's playing at and just hop in. But I didn't want to. I just thought it'd be easier just to do it like this, where it just it starts over. So anyway, here, starts here, plays the animations. You fly, and then you go around, and then this one's kind of long. Anyway, that's the point. That's the point. That's how this works. I need to fix that. Sometimes it doesn't play. If you go too fast, I have to fix that too. It's not done. It doesn't. It's just a visual thing. It doesn't matter that much, especially like you could just. You have to wait for it to load. It has to do with how it loads. But anyway, it doesn't matter. You can just move it. Go back to practice menu. You can practice boss end stage separately. I think that's very important. I don't like the G-Rev games do this, which I find really annoying, is that I can't fight the boss itself. Like if I'm playing Under Defeat, I want to practice. I want to practice the stage 2 boss in Under Defeat, let's say, right? And I have to play stage 2 so many times to so I can learn the pattern, right? And it's like I'd love to just get there, or like, well, it doesn't work for Eschatos because that game is that game's like this, where the entire pace of the game can't really be stopped, right? It's one thing that's a save state. That's a game that needs save states. Oh my god. It's not that hard. I mean, I play Time Attack, so I mean Score Attack or whatever. So I mean, I don't play any other modes, so I don't know. I think that's set to the highest difficulty too. I played it on easy. I was like, wow, this is too easy. Why is this game so easy? But Ginga Force on easy is like magnitudes harder than Eschatos. I was really surprised. Anyway, that's the thing. So you can play the stages. I'm just rambling on about games. I thought I fixed this. Okay, that's whatever. I'll fix it later. I gotta fix the sound. Is there anything else I want to say? Nah, probably not. Alright, out later.